Targeting a weaker player in rec play is bullying.
That's a bold statement. What's interesting to me about the post is she says, like, it's our job to call it out. Is it?
And to say that you're a bully for trying to win is, like, kind of weird to me.
I don't think that's bullying. I think that's called competitive sports, you know?
Like, I'm sorry, it's a sport. People are going to try to win, and I don't think that should be villainized.
So I have the new Project Boomstick. What do you think about it?
Gosh, I have really gravitated towards power paddles. I just want to say that. And coming from the era, trying the boomstick, you guys, I was shocked at the pure power.
Yeah, I really loved the boomstick. Obviously, great power, great spin, but I think where it's really underrated is how stable it is. And the stability, I think, is due to the MOI tuning system, which is these semi-permanent weighting clips on the edge guard. And so the paddle just feels so incredibly balanced that the sweet spot is quite enormous. So make sure, if you haven't already, head on over to Selkirk.com to get your boomstick today.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Pickleball Connection Podcast. I'm Danae.
And I'm Barrett.
And we are stoked to be hanging out with you guys today. Today, we're going to be doing a little CTN, which is Cruise the News. So let's just hop right into it.
Yeah, so before we get into some of our juicy topics of the day, we wanted to just briefly discuss this weekend. We're filming this podcast as the tournament's being played this weekend. And on the pro scene, there are just upsets after upsets after upsets. It feels like it's the year of the upset. And so yesterday in the first round of men's singles, there was like 4 major upsets in the first round. Mm-hmm. You had like I think 6, 7, 8, and 9 seeds, something like that, all got upset.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy to see. I think I was going to ask, why do you think so many people are getting upset?
I mean, I just think the player talent pool is so much bigger. You know, it's funny. I even told you yesterday, I said, because I'm doing like a bracket. I fill out a bracket before the tournament.
Yeah, you should. Can you tell them about that or no?
My pride is hurt.
Can you tell them what it is that you fill out?
I mean, yeah, we there's like a group of a bunch of us that kind of work in the pickleball industry, and we all fill out like a bracket from like the whole bracket for the tournament.
So like men's singles, women's singles.
Yeah. And like round of 64. That's where we fill
So you
it
have to
out
pick
from.
the winners from each round. And then the person in your group that has the most correct choices, like basically
you get the most points or whatever. So I was telling, let's just be honest, my bracket's absolutely screwed from.
I feel like everyone's isn't it? Because of all the upsets, like nobody.
No, yeah, like no one's guessing all of these.
No one's picking Tom Protzlek to beat Jack Sock in the first round of singles, like especially with how well Jack's been playing.
I know, no, really, and it was funny because I told you yesterday. I was like, dude, if I had this bracket 3 years ago, I'd be scoring like 98%. Like it would just be so easy. Now you have no idea.
Do you think the talent at the lower end is getting better? Do you think it's paddle technology? Do you think like...
I think it's both. I think paddle technology definitely, let's just be honest, it favors the tennis style play. So now we're having a lot of tennis players that come over that can translate easier. Like I'm not going to say easy, like it's super easy. But that automatically widens the skill range, right? And then honestly, yeah, I feel like just pickleball, like more people have tried pickleball, like pickleball, and are going after the pro scene. And so, plus the kids, dude.
Yeah.
Now we're having like obviously a younger,
the full-breds, the pickleball, they just full on.
A younger talent pool come in, and these kids are freaky good. Like they're super, super, super good. So, you know, I think the talent pool is growing. I think tennis athletes are seeing the financial opportunity in the pickleball space, and the kids that are coming up are just nasty.
Seems to me that it's more likely to get upsets in singles than doubles.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. But I will say, man, like we're seeing more upsets in doubles now than ever. You know,
true.
there's even my doubles bracket screwed yesterday. So, I mean, but you know what? I do think it's exciting for pickleball though, because if you have been around the sport as long as we have, we've been watching pro pickleball for coming up to 5 years. We probably started watching pro pickleball in 2020. I mean, we just saw the same people, same teams win over and over and over. Same people go to championship Sunday over and over and over. So there is an exciting and fresh element to the upsets for me.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact interview I was listening to, but obviously Ben Johns at the top of the men's singles, rankings for a long time, and this year he's been really falling off.
Where's he at?
He's been falling off super early. Kidding. Like he's like having a hard time making it past the round of 16. It feels like, and I think I heard him make a comment that made me think like, do you feel like you're not playing as well, or do you feel like the talent's just gotten better? And I think Ben feels like he's playing like the way he normally plays, that people's games are just getting better. And on the singles side, I think when it's just you out there and you don't have to worry about partner dynamics and stuff, like your talent can come through in like a much bigger way. And I think there's a lot of talent just continuing to come into the game.
Do you think that also has to do with the paddle technology, like Ben's singles game being affected?
What's interesting is that Ben plays singles with a paddle that's less powerful than the one he plays in doubles.
Really?
So he plays with like an older style because he likes to be able to control the ball more, cat and mouse, and like drop and stuff that just plays to his singles game. He doesn't really he doesn't feel like he needs extra power. And maybe that's part of the reason, that he's, falling. I don't know. But I don't know. Paddle technology, yes, something to do with it. But I think it's also just, I think it has more to do with the talent that's coming in than the paddle technology.
Yeah, I agree. But do you think cat and mouse singles is kind of dying off a little bit?
I think maybe a little bit. I mean, but if you watched last tournament, not this week, but last tournament, Marshall Brown's big run, he plays a ton of cat and mouse. And Fed still plays a lot of cat and mouse. Jame, Ben likes to. But, I think it's harder to have success when you're just getting passed all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on. We just wanted to touch on that. Like, let us know in the comments, guys. Have you been noticing a lot of upsets in the pro scene as well? And do you think that's going to continue? We'd be interested to know. Hey, have you heard of the new Play More app?
No. What is it?
Basically, the Play More app is like a stress-free scheduling app for pickleballers. So I don't know, we've struggled a lot in group text trying to organize play. You'll set it up and somebody will just like the text. And I'm like, does that actually mean you're coming or not?
Yeah, and it's like, you never know how many people you have, like what rating they are. It's kind of annoying.
It can kind of just be a nightmare to try to organize groups because group texts are just not fun. So basically the Play More app lets you send out invitations. You get an RSVP list. If somebody doesn't show, there's a wait list that will actually like put somebody right into.
No way.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Dang, that's awesome. What's it called?
It's called the Play More app. So you should download it at the App Store, or you can go to getplaymore.com if you want to look at it online. But let's go on now to a forum post that we were talking about earlier today.
Yeah, so I saw this forum post on the kitchen. I think it had like 300 comments. So I'm just going to read it. It says, there's an intro. This post is about poor sportsmanship, about unfairly targeting weaker players, emphasis on poor sport and unfair. So then they go on. This is the meat of the post. They say, recreational pickleball is a lot like third grade recess. We're there to get some exercise and have fun. Just like on the playground. With a mixture of ages and ability levels, we figure out how to get along together. But sometimes issues develop. Sawyer routinely hits to a new player several times in a row, knowing they'll probably miss it on the third hit. With an opponent who is just back from a knee replacement injury, Ariel deliberately places shots a little out of reach. And Ty will only hit to the female partner in mixed doubles, knowing she struggles to return power shots. Sawyer, Ariel, and Ty are bullies. Targeting a weaker player in rec play is bullying.
That's a bold statement.
Maybe not punch you when teacher isn't looking level, but still, it's tormenting someone to assert dominance. It's our job to call it out when we see it. We want to include new and weaker players in our games. They already know that they are outmatched, and we should welcome their determination to challenge themselves as we challenge ourselves. Recreational pickleball is not about competing with anyone except the player that you were yesterday. Keep it fun. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know if I want to share my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts?
No, you have to answer. I'll give you my thoughts.
We've talked about this on the pod before. Like,
yeah.
there is a narrative. There's a crew. There's a group out there that is very upset when they see the weaker player getting targeted.
Yeah.
There's another camp of people that are like pro hit to the better player. You know, it's like you must hit to the better player if you want to get better. Like, that's how you get better. So there's some people that like swing to one end, and the other people, like, they want to win. They're going to hit to the weaker player. But I think the big thing that comes up is that people bring up that this is just rec play.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make a difference. Like, obviously, if it was a tournament, you would hit to the weaker player because you are going to win. But it's all like, should you do this in rec play? And I think that there's probably a differing viewpoint on this based off of the skill level that you play.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're probably a 4.0 or above, you want to win at any cost. If you're probably below that, or maybe 3.5 or below, you know, you probably, maybe you're super competitive, but there's probably more of a just like, I want to have fun. I'm not here always to win, you know? So I don't know. I think at the higher level, like I think on the side of the courts that we play at, the local courts, like, I don't really see this being an issue.
Yeah.
I don't see someone getting upset for hitting the weaker player.
Yeah.
I actually know no high level players that I played with a really high level player once, and we played against a team that just probably because the court that we play at, guys, if you're listening, is like split. So there's like an advanced side and a beginner side. And so basically the guy I was playing with, like, we were playing this weaker team. He's a very high, it's like a 6.0 almost. And he was basically saying, like, we need to beat them. Like, I want to beat them 11-0. And he's saying that we need to do this so that they go back to the side that they should play on, because that's his way of saying, like, hey, like, I appreciate, you come over and play a game. That's fine. But, like, if you're going to just mess around and, have fun and not, like, beat them, then they're going to think that they belong on the same court as you. And that's not good for them either, because they want to know an accurate level of their skill. I don't know. To me, it's a little soft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. I think it's very different depending on the levels. But I think you just gotta probably read the room a little bit. Like, here's the thing. I grew up playing sports, and I really can't think of any time I've, like, gone to go play a sport and I'm, like, not trying to win.
Yeah, I mean that.
Like,
but you're very competitive.
but again, I'm pretty competitive. So, do I know people that go out and play sports and that don't really care? Yeah, but, like, you can't manage everybody else on the court. The only person that you can manage is yourself. So I can't tell Barrett how he needs to do something. I can only manage me. And I think it's a little weird when you start trying to manage everybody on the court, like,
what's interesting to me about the post is she says, like, it's our job.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
To call it out. And I'm like, is it?
And here's my other thing is it's to say that you're a bully for trying to win is, like, kind of weird to me.
Like, I guess it's, like, a little different if you're, like, hitting to the weaker player and taunting them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, like, if you're just hitting to the weaker player because you want to win,
then I think you're just playing the game.
I don't think that's bullying. I think that's called competitive sports.
Same. So, again, am I going to hop on a court with a bunch of senior 3.0s and, like, trash talk them? No.
But you're going to try to beat them. I know you.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose to a senior 3-0, but I'm going to have a lot of fun.
I know this. Sometimes we're playing a team that's like less than us, and like you like look at me and you give me the eyes like we need like. Well, I want to beat them bad.
Well, here's the thing though, because when I was a weaker level player, I always wanted them to play how they normally play because I wanted to actually see what good shots were like.
Yeah,
so I appreciated that as a lower level player. So if lower level players hop on the court, I'm gonna beat them as I normally play.
I think my thing is, maybe sometimes I feel like if I'm playing a good team, I feel like I can lock in a little better. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes if I'm playing a team that's like clearly a lower skill level, that it like, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to click into that competitive mode. And so I can kind of get a little lazy or go for crazy shots or something. But I also do think that if I'm playing a lower level team, I'm maybe less likely to hit to the, better player.
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
I don't think you're a bully if you're trying to win at pickleball. I do think read the room. I think on lower level courts, beginner open play, it's a little bit different probably mentality. But when you get into intermediate and higher levels, like, I'm sorry, it's a sport, so people are going to try to win. And I don't think that should be villainized.
Yeah. I mean, guys, clearly if you go, we'll try to link the post. But clearly, if you go look at this post, people are a bit torn on the subject. So would love to know what you guys think. Like, do you let us know in the comments? Do you guys think that it's okay to target a weaker player, or should you never
think they're bullies?
Or is that a bully move?
Actually, I'm curious what you guys think because we really play more on the high level side now, so it's probably a little different.
But would you like to go to the next topic here?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go to it. Another post that we found I thought was a fun one here. This guy writes, fun poll. Who are the top 5 most overrated players in the PPA, so professional players, and who are the 5 most underrated players? Also, what woman do you root for the most, and what man do you root for the most? So
these are funny.
Like, I think that the second half of that question is interesting because I just sometimes find myself rooting for players and I'm like, I don't know why I want you to win, but I do want you to win.
Yeah.
But let's start with, like, we don't have to do the top 5, but are there any people that you think are underrated or overrated that pop up?
Dang.
Somebody writes, 5 underrated players in their opinion are Jay DeVilliers, Max Freeman, Kaylin Campbell, Mari Humberg, and Jelena Ingram. What do you think?
I mean...
Underrated?
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think Kaylin Campbell will be a big name, but she's obviously just kind of...
This person says the Kawamotos are so underrated.
Dude, I might agree with that. I think the Kawamotos, especially in MLP, dude, they just thrive in that format. But like, I think that they're not, your flashiest players.
They're good in women's too.
Yeah, they're not your flashiest players, but they are just freaking good. And they lock in and they do well under pressure. So I will agree with that. I think the Kawamotos are underrated. They're maybe not like the most like big personalities on the court, but they are just like deadly, like silent killers.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in here talking about, mixed opinions on some of like the tennis players like Jack Sock and Jeannie Bouchard.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I think that what I've noticed about the high level tennis players is that they seem to at least develop more of a feel for singles quicker than they do doubles. Like, Jack was an amazing doubles tennis player, but I think he's had more success on the singles side.
Yeah.
But I still think he's ascending. I think that he's going to continue to get better. He's not at his ceiling yet.
Yeah.
This person said that they always root for Hurricane Tyra Black.
I mean, I was going to say, I feel like people are giving her the recognition.
Yeah. So that's a separate question. There's the question of like, underrated versus overrated versus like who do you find yourself
Yeah.
rooting for? Is there a player that like, let's say you're watching MLP or you're watching a PPA and you like when they come on, you just kind of want them to win, that you kind of root for?
I really like CJ Klinger.
Dude, somebody put in here that they thought he was overrated right now.
No, I think people are hype on him. But for me, he's like very easy to cheer for because he's just young. He's like obviously grinding. Andre Diasky is another one where he's just hard to root against. Like, just such a good dude. Like, every time I see him play, I'm like, I want him to win because he's just, this like happy dad. I don't know. He's just he's hard to root against. You're like, you want him to win.
Yeah.
He's just a good dude. What about you? Are there people that you just are like find yourself cheering for when you watch him?
You know, like obviously, like we mentioned Jack, like Jack has, I think, had a little more success so far on the singles side, but even when he's playing doubles, like he's just kind of fun to watch to me. He's very
an
like
entertainer,
athletic and entertaining. So I find myself kind of wanting Jack to win, kind of rooting for him. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think like a lot of people put like that they're Rachel Rohrbacher fans. Like that came up quite a bit. Okay. I think she's fun to watch too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that for me, I find myself a lot of times like rooting for the underdog.
Yeah.
You know,
it's fun to see an underdog win.
Yeah. So yeah. I know that like we really like watching Chris Hayworth play.
Yeah. Freaking Chris, I have you going deep in my bracket this week. So
doing good right now.
Is there anyone that you think is overrated?
In what?
In whatever.
You know, I think
Annalie Waters.
I think no.
I'm just kidding.
Definitely not.
That was a total joke.
Definitely not overrated.
Annalie Waters is by far the best. Okay.
She might still be underrated. That's how good she is. I would say, you know, I'm gonna throw this out there. It's gonna be controversial.
I have one.
He's definitely coming back a little bit in singles. But I think that the hype kind of, I don't know if it maybe is also worn off a little bit. So I don't know if he'd be overrated, but I'm going to throw out Fed.
Ooh.
I think Fed like as a doubles player, I haven't seen him.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen him make many runs. Like last year, they made some finals, like him and Hayden played together a lot this year.
Even before that, him and Pablo would make very deep runs.
Like I feel like Fed has a high floor in doubles, but also maybe not like very high of a ceiling. Okay. Like I feel like Fed's gonna make it to the quarters, you know. But maybe the semis.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like
I have an underrated one too.
Watch Fed's gonna win and like Gabe and Ben are gonna get upset by like Hayden and Fed.
I have an underrated player.
Who?
You know who I think is an underrated player, but I just am like, he's freaking legit. Matt Wright.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Literally, like nobody ever talks about.
I mean,
like,
here's the thing.
He never comes up because, you know, people kind of think of him more of like years ago, the glory days. But like, dude, he consistently does well.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with you, assuming it's men's doubles and he's playing the right.
Yes. I should have. If
it's men's doubles and he's playing the right, I agree with you.
I 100%.
I think that's the issue is that you're not going to see him.
He's not going to.
You're not going to see him in a semifinals in any other position than men's doubles in the right.
But I think men's doubles on the right, I'm like, dude, he's still a good freaking player.
You know what's interesting is like, would you put him in the top 5 men's right side players? Would you put him in the top 5? I put Gabe up there. I'd put Hayden up there. I'd put maybe Christian Alshon plays really good on the right. I think he might be a top 5 right side player.
I'd throw him up there.
I mean, consistently continuing to make finals. I don't know.
Yeah, if he has a left side player that can move fast, cover a lot, like he's a very, very solid right side player.
Yep.
Last one that's overrated. ready? This could be controversial. I think Ben Johns is an overrated singles player now.
Yeah, we brought it up earlier. He's struggling this year.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's just the talent. I think the talent is getting better. But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments who are your overrated and underrated players, because I think this is kind of fun. You know what? We're gonna get done with the podcast. I'm gonna think of like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But we'll talk about it over dinner. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us on today's episode of the Pickleball Connection. We will see you on the next one.